Gideon v. Wainwright by Keen Keshefi and Zafir Chaudhry. Gideon v. Wainwright was a Supreme Court case that took place in 1963 that changed the criminal justice system forever. For background, Clarence Earl Gideon was charged with breaking and entering, and his trial was held in the Florida State Court. Gideon was an interesting individual, as some called him the unlikely hero. He only attained an 8th grade education before he ran away from home. Before this case, he was in and out of prison for nonviolent crimes. Fast forward to his court case for breaking and entering. Gideon appeared in court without a lawyer. When the judge was asked by Gideon to provide him an attorney, since he could not afford one, the judge claimed he would not appoint an attorney for him because of a Florida state law that said that attorneys may only be appointed in capital cases. As a result, Gideon was forced to argue his own innocence, and the jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to prison for 5 years. Gideon then filed a habeas corpus petition to the Florida State Supreme Court, only to have it denied. Finally, Gideon decided to handwrite a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, the Sixth Amendment guarantees the defendant a right to a fair and speedy trial. The question that emerged from Gideon's petition was, does the Sixth Amendment's right to counsel in criminal cases extend to felony defendants in state courts? The Supreme Court had taken the case to determine whether the decision from a previous court case of Betts v. Brady should be overturned. The determination from this previous court case was that, quote, refusal to appoint counsel for an indigent defendant charged with a felony in state court did not necessarily violate the due process clause of the 14th Amendment, end quote. In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court overturned Betts v. Brady and determined that, quote, the Sixth Amendment's guarantee of a right to assistance of a counsel applies to criminal defendants in state court by way of the 14th Amendment, end quote. To further explain the decision, Justice Black said, quote, reason and reflection require us to recognize that in our adversary system of criminal justice, any person hailed into court who is too poor to hire a lawyer cannot be assured a fair trial unless counsel is provided for him. This court case has had a tremendous impact on the criminal justice system, as the Supreme Court recognized that, quote, lawyers in criminal courts are necessities, not luxuries, end quote. Because of Gideon's persistence, the Sixth Amendment is now abided by under all circumstances. The Justice Department has long recognized Gideon's efforts, but they do admit that the quality of legal services varies from state to state, and it is an ongoing issue that the Justice Department is working to fix. The public perception of the ruling of this court case is favorable, as it ensured that the Sixth Amendment would be abided by. The result of Gideon v. Wainwright serves as a basis for a ruling in any future court cases similar to this one. However, when the Supreme Court decided on this court case, it clearly broke with a precedent that they had established in Betts v. Brady, the previous court case. As for future importance, it is certain that the court case of Gideon v. Wainwright was a monumental court case, as it ensured Americans that the Sixth Amendment would never be violated again. All thanks to a man with an 8th grade education.